So during the most recent episode of Behind the Turnbuckle, former GOAT theme song haver Jonathan Coachman claimed that former AEW Women's World Champion Britt Baker, DMD, was gone from AEW and set to be WWE bound. The show's co-host initially suggested it was indeed Britt Baker when he said, quote, "There's a name, a female name out there that is close to signing with WWE." Coachman then added Baker was, quote, "gone from AEW and was, quote, buried because she pushed back on creative ideas." Fightful Select has published a new report indicating that Baker has not left AEW and is still under contract, as she signed a 5-year deal towards the end of 2021. A source noted that Baker is always welcome backstage at WWE events, but there has been no talks about Baker signing with the company. It was added that there is no word on if there are any creative plans for Baker in AEW regarding her return. Baker's last AEW match was a win against Penelope Ford back in November of last year on Dynamite. Personally, I wouldn't mind seeing the Doctor in WWE. She seems to have done everything she can in AEW and would easily be one of those wrestlers who can slot right into main roster. Not to mention, I'd like to see her mix it up with the whole roster, the likes of Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch. So while she may not be going anywhere right now, would you like to see Britt Baker stay or go?
I'm the hottest thing in professional wrestling, but even without it, I'm still Dr. Britt Baker. DMD.
Penta entrance is cool, but he's kinda mid. Stephanie Vaquer should be in the Total Divas reboot. I can't explain to you just how much I would be there. Imagine Stephanie Vaquer in Brie mode. Imagine that episode. Imagine the episode where Nikki Bella is just trying to figure out how to say Stephanie Vaquer.
Stephanie Vaquer.
I hate to say it, but at this point, some wrestlers should make the move to other companies. Karrion Kross, The Miz, and Candice LeRae are wasted potential. I agree to an extent, because I don't know if you can really say that about The Miz, the man who's, what, a 2-time Grand Slam champion? But on The Miz note, I will say I don't really like that he's just become the standard bearer of new guy coming onto the main roster and they have to face The Miz. And while they've had some entertaining moments, I think Mello and Miz could have been better. I just feel like babyface or mildly babyface Miz has never been the one. Him as a heel doing the awesome thing is where it's at. In terms of Karrion Kross, you already know where I stand. I want that man to be pushed to the moon on Raw, and I'm still delusionally telling myself that it's going to happen. And Candice LeRae is kind of the same on the women's side. Another very underrated talent that I hope they utilize more, because every time she gets a little bit of shine, she shows how much of a star she can be. The Las Vegas situation is not making me excited for WrestleMania next year. Yeah, me too. It's kind of a bummer. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Part of what makes WrestleMania special is having the different culture and different city every year. That's part of the fun. And to go ahead and just decide, yeah, we're gonna do it in Vegas again, it doesn't fill me with the most excitement. It almost feels like I'm watching a rerun of WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels as well as DX are heavily overrated. Oh, what? Hey, let me go ahead and tell you something. I got 2 words for you. You. Sorry, that was rude. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. What I meant to say is, suck it. I don't have an issue with Goldberg coming back. There's a 99% chance he's going to lose since it is his retirement match, and he'll be putting over a younger wrestler who has some real presence. Listen, I hope so. I'm really hoping that Gunther just goes in there and dominates Goldberg, and Goldberg gets a nice send-off in Atlanta, Georgia, and that's it. You know, just yesterday, I decided to watch that Survivor Series 2016 Brock and Goldberg match that I mentioned the other day, and even in the promo for that match, he literally says, "Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar, you're last." I haven't worked on that one yet. Shut up. But look, in that Goldberg Brock Lesnar match, he said that Brock was going to be last. They treat it as if it was his final match on the comeback. So hopefully they do the same here. And hey, I know his son is called Gage. Maybe in 10 years we get Gageberg. That sounds like a slur. Oh, bro, don't do that. What are you, Gageberg, dude? Oh, well, Sammy Guevara should have won the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I couldn't even finish that hot take right there. Oh, PU. I'd rather see his wife Ty Mello as the world champion, and she ain't that good either. Sorry, why am I in this mood today? I just can't look back at the history of AEW and see a point where Sammy Guevara could have become world champion. And I'll go one step further. I don't even really think he's a pillar of AEW. He just happened to be there at the beginning and had some amount of promise, and he was young. Ooh, for this next one, they've gone ahead and dropped a hot take, a what if, and a dream match. Greedy boy. Hot take, Jacob Fatu is way overhyped. You're wrong. What if we got the Shield versus the Fiend and the Bludgeon Brothers? Yes, we got the Shield versus the Wyatt family, but this isn't the Wyatt family. This is a demonic being in the Fiend and two monstrous brutes. Okay, I would have been down for that. Dream match, DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns versus Phyrexian versus the Rascals versus ABC versus the Hardy Boys in a tag team Money in the Bank ladder match. Winners are the first ever tag team Money in the Bank winners. Ooh, you're cooking there. Yes, mama. We need a tag team Money in the Bank ladder match. And if you want to go ahead and spice it up a little bit, let's do a Money in the Bank TLC match. Oh, but I agree with you on that last one. I have long thought that the tag team division deserves a Money in the Bank briefcase. There are so many stories you could tell there, but I just feel like the dynamic between one of the partners being like, no, we should cash in here, and then no, we should cash in here, and then maybe one of the partners is like, no, I'm cashing in, and one of them's like, no. Like, there's a bit of a dynamic you could do there. I look at guys like the Revival, for example. If there was a Money in the Bank ladder match for them, I feel like theirs would have been quite smart planned out. Cena retirement tour is actually great, and he probably is the best champ in WWE at the moment. Ooh. I will say it definitely has become actually great because CM Punk's involvement has really given it an extra edge, and I feel like it's bringing the best out of John Cena. But if we're being so for real, Io Sky is still the best champion in WWE. I love my Genius of the Sky. Dom has all the potential to surpass his dad as far as legacy and impact goes. Also considering he started so young. I don't see him surpassing Eddie Guerrero. I mean, Eddie's legacy is like the King of the Ring tournament being absorbed into Crown Jewel is a bad move. Bring back standalone King of the Ring PLE. I think you mean Night of Champions, but I get your point. And I'll be honest, I don't entirely mind it being absorbed into Night of Champions. I just feel like it should be in a crowd that's going to give it more of a moment than Saudi Arabia. Because I've said before, the Saudi Arabian crowds oftentimes do pop for certain things, but then there's some things that they just don't react to, and you see guys moving around in the audience and people are on their phones, and it's like, okay, let's actually get involved here. Jeff Hardy and CM Punk, 16 years in the making. Ooh. I low-key kind of forgot that was going to happen, but it's probably going to happen. And since I don't see CM Punk winning the WWE Championship this time around from Cena, maybe we go ahead and run back Jeff Hardy and CM Punk at SummerSlam. Imagine that. I don't really know what Jeff Hardy's contract situation is when it comes to him being able to cross over into WWE, but considering they were both in NXT and now TNA and WWE are working together, and I don't think the Hardys are in any way contractually obligated to AEW anymore, so I feel like this match very well could happen, and the pop that would happen if no more words happened on Raw and it hit, oh my goodness. I'm not mad at Mariah May getting a new name or any one of the ex-AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling people going to WWE getting new names. It separates them from what they were in the other company they wrestled for. Yeah, here's the thing. Some of those name changes are so bad that it is very jarring at first. You're like, oh man, that really does kind of ruin the aura of this wrestler. But then there's other name changes like Blake Monroe. I actually really like as a name. It kind of rolls off the tongue. It's a nice name. It's glamorous. Ricky Saints, I feel like, is a nice touching tribute to where he's from. I get it. I like it. Gunther is another one that grew on me. Pete Dunne, I'm glad he's back to being Pete Dunne. However, because Butch was not a good name. But you're right, it does separate them from the other company that they wrestled in. It kind of gives them a fresh start. Wesley as a face is better than Wesley as a heel. I'm not going to agree or disagree here. I'm just going to say Wesley is fantastic in whatever he does. That's my guy right there. El Grande Americano, Cena title run, Jacob Fatu, Obafemi, Stephanie Vacar, Roxanne Perez, Julia, Ron Killings, Chad Gable are carrying WWE right now. Besides that, WWE is garbage. You know, I disagree with you, but I'm glad you went ahead and said Chad Gable and El Grande Americano because they're not the same person. Thank you. I mean, thank you! Arguably, AEW Weekly and pay-per-views is the best it has been since its golden era. I have been enjoying it anytime I tune into it. I don't know about Collision though. Yeah, you know what? Me too, man. I've really been enjoying AEW recently. It has been consistently good. Now, one gripe I do have with AEW is I really miss the old theme song they had for Dynamite. Like, that Boom Boom Dynamite was so much better than the one they have now, in my opinion. But other than that, I have really been enjoying AEW, and I also have to give a special shout out to RJ City, because Part of why I love AEW and the dynamic with the wrestlers is also that show, AEW. I feel like WrestleMania 20 is so overlooked and love the videos, keep it up. Thank you. And also, I think we know why people don't really talk about WrestleMania 20, right?
Eddie Guerrero with a heartfelt embrace on his friend, Chris Benoit. These men are trapped.
You know, and then, so you get it.